is it?
Boys, open up.
What are you doing here?
What, is there any way to greet your old friend and former castaway?
Just surprised to see you, that's all.
I decided to give you a police escort to your triumph at the immigration hearing this afternoon. Is my watch fast there, or shouldn't you be leaving pretty soon?
I decided not to go.
I beg your pardon.
Look, they're gonna turn me down no matter what I say. And I am just not gonna give them the satisfaction. I'm going back to Mexico.
Don't you just love morgues? At least you and I got to walk out. That's more than you can say for most of those folks in there. Something, you cops get really hardened to that. I never really could. Hey, well, I'm sorry I took you along, but I had to identify the old gentleman's body, and you said you wanted to go, so, you know. I know. I just still can't believe the guy's dead. You know, I talked to him, 2 days ago? Yeah. You know, we got to find some relatives of his or something. Somebody who can help us give him a proper burial. You know what I think's really weird? No ID. Couldn't find a driver's license on him, no address, no body to notify. It's almost as though he thought this was coming on, like he didn't really need those things anymore. Yeah, well, he said as much when he gave me this stone. Yeah, I forgot. You're the new shaman, right? Maybe you can join Dad over at Bunny's now, his act. That's amusing. I'm just telling you what he told me. I didn't say that I believed it. All right. I want to clean this up as quick as I can and give him a decent burial. Then I can get back to finding Kirk's goon, Benny, and once he's off the streets, Eden will be on the next plane home. Yeah, I told you I would help you with that, too, but I don't understand something. Why do you have to do anything at all? The state will bury him for free. Oh, the state will just put him in an unmarked grave somewhere. It's like getting buried in a landfill. The guy deserves a little dignity, don't you think? Well, then take him to Westminster Abbey. Let him lie in state. I mean, it's not really going to make much difference to him now. Well, I hope somebody has as much compassion for what's left of you. I really do, pal. Well, save yourself the trouble, then. Why don't you just cast a spell over me, make me live forever? I mean, you know, it should be a snap for the new shaman of the Saki tribe. It's amusing.
You're going to give up without a fight?
I'm not giving up. I'm facing facts. What is the point of fighting a lost cause, huh? I'd be wasting my time and the board's time. You know damn well I don't even have a prayer.
No, I don't know that, and neither do you.
Stop with the acts of faith, will you, Michael? I am in this country illegally using falsified documents. I lied to get on the police force so I could run drugs for dealers. You actually think the board is just going to slap me with a little fine and slip me into a uniform? I'm going to be out of this town on the next rail, and Amato's going to be there with me.
I can persuade immigration to let Amato stay. I need him as a witness to I.D. Cranston's right-hand man. And after that, I'll find some other way that he can stay permanently.
How?
I'll find a sponsor for him. I do it myself. I don't have enough money to qualify, but I will find somebody, I promise you.
Amato would much rather stay here than go back to Mexico.
Even without you?
I don't know. You have to talk to him.
And what about me?
We never made each other any promises. Besides, it's not even like I have a choice.
Yes, you do have a choice. You can fight back. And I'll help you.
How? You just got off probation yourself. Just drop it, Michael. Don't make this any harder on me than it already is.
Fine. You want to walk? I'm not going to stand in your way. If what we had means so little to you, maybe we're both better off with you gone. Do for you? I am just waiting for Annie to be brought over from the prison hospital.
Yeah, what did you come up with?
I found her diary, in her room at the sanitarium. Sure enough, she writes there that she is out to hurt Ethan. And the raincoat is there right in the closet, and the buttons match the one that was found on the floor of Asher's office.
Well, that seems pretty cut and dry, doesn't it?
Yeah, too much so. I think we could be looking at a frame-up.
Which you think Laura somehow engineered.
Maybe. So I'm going to question her, see if I can come up with something more definite.
Okay, I'd like to be here when you do that.
Great.
For what it's worth, I put a tail on Laura just in case she decides to take any sudden trips. And I'm sorry about this, because I know how it must make you feel.
It's, well, it's the job, right?
Yeah, it's the job. Listen, while I got you, I was thinking I could get some advice. You know that old Indian gentleman who was looking for me?
I know about him.
Yeah, he died. And he doesn't seem to have had anyone. And since we do share a bit of the same blood, I was thinking that I might see to his burial.
That's a very nice gesture.
Yeah, except I don't know where to do it.
Well, the ideal place would be where his ancestors are buried.
Yeah, I have Rick checking at the local library to see if we can come up with something. If we can't find that place, I was hoping you could suggest a private cemetery somewhere that would be nice. Maybe,
There she is, Inspector.
Thank you, Bill.
Annie?
Could someone take these off me, please? They really hurt.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. Is this your raincoat, Annie?
Yes, sir. It could be an exact duplicate.
That's true. But it's probably yours. And we noticed that this button is missing. Do you know what happened to it?
No. Buttons fall off of things all the time, though.
Yeah. We found this button in Ethan Asher's office. And you'll notice that it matches the other ones on the coat.
Well, they must make a lot of those raincoats, so probably they make a lot of buttons to go on them.
Yeah, but that is quite a coincidence, don't you think?
Well, what do I know about police work?
Yeah. We found your diary also, and there are certain entries you made here discussing Mr. Asher, how much you hate him because of the way he treated Laura.
No, I never wrote those things. It had to be Laura. She's very clever, you know. I mean, I didn't realize it first, but she is. And she's smarter than I am. And see, that was my mistake, because I didn't recognize it. Look, she's trying to make it seem as though I did this all by myself. But she tried to kill him twice before I was ever involved. And then when I was involved, I had to, because she said that she would kill Ed for me.
Kill who?
I told you. Oh, God, I told somebody. We were going to kill each other's husbands. But see, I didn't actually do anything to anybody.
Yeah, well, a handwriting expert will check this out, and we'll be able to tell who actually made the entries. But the thing is that even if it turns out to have been Laura, that wouldn't explain how she was able to get out of the sanitarium and attempt 2 murders, now would it?
Well, she stole keys. And she stole Nurse Green's car. You know, whenever Nurse Green was on duty at night, that's when Laura would slip out. And that's when I was able to slip out, too.
Okay, now that is something that we can check.
Uh-huh.
All right, you have been a very big help, right? And I promise you we're going to get to the bottom of this.
Well, I sure hope so, because you won't find me there. I was somewhere in the middle, and Laura knows it if she would just tell the truth.
Well, thank you for your cooperation. Now, don't be upset. You did a really good job. Bill?
Okay.
Take her downstairs, please.
Do I have to wear those things on my wrist again?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Thanks again, Annie. You've been on the fence about this for a long time. What do you think?
I believe her. Now we're just going to have to prove it. So Mason's going to give us the officer's name in the morning, and then maybe we can have a lineup sometime tomorrow.
That's great. All we need is a positive ID.
Right.
If it turns out Laura was driving the nurse's car the night Sasha was killed, then she probably cut Ethan's brake cable, too. And the rest of it, the poisoning and the rigging of the explosives, that would have been Annie, right?
Yeah, but I believe her story. I think that Laura put her up to it.
What's the thing with your watch? You keep looking at your watch.
Oh, I was just wondering if Nikki ever went to her immigration hearing.
She doesn't have a choice, does she?
Well, she said she doesn't want to give them the satisfaction of deporting her, so she's going to go back to Mexico on her own. I'm just hoping that maybe she changed her mind.
Well, you know, Michael, the cards are pretty well stacked against her.
Yeah, I know, but that's not an excuse for her not to try. Yeah. Speaking of which, I wanted to ask you about Amato. You know, he's dying to stay in the country. And because he's an illegal alien, he's going to need a sponsor.
You volunteering?
I would, but I don't make enough money to qualify. I was hoping maybe you could suggest somebody that I could ask.
I'll check around. If push came to shove, I'm sure I could sponsor him myself. He's a good enough kid. I'll look into it.
Thanks. I know that Nikki's not going to even think about staying if she thinks her brother's going to be deported.
What about him? Does he want to stay if she has to leave?
I don't know. You went to the hearing.
I went all right. It was a waste of time. I told you I should have never gone.
What happened?
They didn't buy that I was an innocent victim in any of this. Tough luck and adios is what they said. I'm going to be deported.
Cruz thinks that he can find somebody to sponsor Amato if you think he'd still want to stay.
I know he would. Look, I want to thank both of you for trying to help my brother. And he is worth the helping because he's going to amount to something given half the chance.
Sure, we know he is. We believe in him or we wouldn't be trying to help. And you know, I'm terribly sorry that it didn't work out at the hearing, but you may be able to fix things on the other end and come back.
Sure. I'm not worried. We're going to be seeing each other again.
Count on it. Look, can you hold the fort down here? Because I'm taking my kids out to dinner tonight, okay? See you guys.
Yeah, I'll see you in the morning.
All right.
So you tell me what happened at the hearing?
You don't want to hear all the sordid details.
When did they say that you have to leave?
They gave me 72 hours to settle my affairs. Good thing I don't have many of those going.
Nikki, you don't have to leave.
No? What should I do, hold up in my room and shoot it out with the INS?
Look, what I'm going to suggest is not just a last-ditch idea that I'm throwing out. This is something that I have thought about. And I think it's something that could work in another way. What I'm getting at is that you don't have to leave the country if... What I'm trying to say is, will you marry me?
You want me to marry you?
Will you?
Michael, I can't.
Of course you can. Just say yes.
No, I can't let you do this. I'm not going to allow you to throw away your life just to marry me to keep me in the States. I mean, first of all, it's illegal. You're going to end up getting yourself in much more trouble than I've already gotten you into. And maybe end up getting kicked off the force yourself. Thank you. But no.
Hey, do I have any say in this? I'm not just doing this for you. I'm also doing this for me.
Look, it's very nice, and I really appreciate it, but just forget about getting married. Neither of us are ready to make that kind of commitment.
How do you know what I am ready to do?
Because I know you. You're only prepared to sacrifice yourself for something you feel is noble and worthwhile. But this is too big a sacrifice, even for you.
Look, will you stop making up my mind for me? I am proposing marriage to you. Now, why don't you just take it for what it is.
Because I know what it is, even if you don't. It's a great outpouring of pity and compassion for some poor lost soul who's about to be deported. I mean, it's like throwing yourself in front of me to stop a bullet. But you don't have to do that. You are not a priest anymore, and you are never going to be a saint, no matter how hard you try.
That is a hell of a response to an honest expression of affection.
See, affection, not love.
Right, come on, don't pick on words.
Don't pick on me. I am not one of your charity cases.
No, you are not. And that was the farthest thing from my mind.
Gina, are you sure you didn't misunderstand Laura about the candles?
Cruz, how could I mix up something like that? I mean, at first it didn't sink in, but once it hit me, bingo!
Okay, fine. Then why don't you come down to the station in the morning and we'll take a statement from you?
Nothing would give me greater pleasure. I'll even come down there tonight if you want me to.
No, tomorrow will be sufficient. That'll be just fine. You come then. I'll look forward to seeing you. Have a good night's sleep.
Good night.
Good night. So, what did you come up with, brother?
Well, I didn't get anywhere with the phone calls, but I went down to the library, checked out some old maps, some history books of Santa Barbara. There's a little cemetery. It's not too far from here. Legend has it used to be an old Indian burial ground.
What's it called?
Santa Sangre?
Sounds like an appropriate place to put the old gentleman to rest. Maybe I can put a couple of other things to rest while I'm at it. Well, thank you for checking it out, man. I'll make the arrangements tomorrow.